Hi, good morning everyone. Today we are going to see the method of research on the basis of their approach. So first we are going to see the classification of research on the basis of the logic. So when it comes to the logic, there are two approaches. First one is deductive. So deductive approaches are trying to prove the result is right only with the available informations. So we call the deductive approach as a top-down or general or specific methodology. So deductive approaches has three steps. First one is stating the hypothesis. So we have to prove what the answer we are provided is right. And second thing is collect the information to check the hypothesis. So if you are trying to prove something right, for example, if you are trying to prove the product is right, we have to collect the ingredients and the brand and everything about the product. And the third thing is, if it is correct, we have to acknowledge the product. If the product is harmful or it is affective to us, we should make it as rejective. So the second approach is inductive. So inductive approaches has few steps, and the inductive approaches is also known as bottom up approach or specific towards the general approach. So we have three steps here. First is observing the different phenomena. So observing the different phenomena is subjective to the world. So once the world is affected by the social or the natural calamities, we have to observe different strategies and different affects how it is happened. And the second thing is we have to search for the patterns. We have to make the patterns related to each phenomena. Then we have to categorize the patterns according to the modules of, of the phenomena. So the next classification is based on the process. So based on the process we have two types. First thing is quantitative. So quantitative estimation. It is an estimation based for cost. How much it costs to process a research work. It is relevant and it is stated in the terms of quantity. It involves the collecting of data and converting of data into numerical forms. So we use the statistical and formulative method to make the calculation to find the solutions. So we are now here we use T set and F test. So T test is just a method or a statistical calculation to find the difference between the quality of the data, and the t-test is considered with the mathematical approach. As we come for the f-test, it is as statistical calculations based on formulas. So it is similar to deductive approach. The second thing is qualitative research. So qualitative research is mainly worried on the subjective model. What do you mean by subjective model? Subjective model is identifying or including qualities or not. Let me tell you an example on exploring the explanation behind the human contact. So, inspirational research. So, it's basically inductive in nature. Then, the researchers start with the tentative ideas or questions, and these questions, if we are going to approach a problem or if we are going to find a solution for the product, first we'll have a question whether the product is from a right brand, and we have certain questions. It may be relevant or not relevant to the product, but we'll start with some questions. As we think of writing an examinations, we'll have a doubt whether we can able to write the questions, whether we can able to prepare in a prescribed time. We have a lot of questions, and these questions will become a specific in the progress of the research. So next we classify the research on the basis of objectives. So on the basis of objectives, we have four types. First one is descriptive research. So descriptive research is similar to quantitative research. Then it is it is tied in description, the phenomena, the watching and making interfaces. So what is meant by tied? In the basic words, it always end up and always merges with the reality of discovering the request and the field study as a primary substance. So next, the fundamental attributes of descriptive researchers are specialized and equal. When these fundamental attributes of these strategies are special, have the researchers or the trainers or the specialists have no power over the factor. They just report what is occurred and what is going to happen. They're never going to change the factor or the modules or the phenomena. So, according to descriptive research, there are five, four types of researchers. First one is survey studies. It's basically on the social scientific investigation. Studies may be large or small population. By selecting and studying the sample of population, we will comes to know or discover the relevant instant. The second thing is ex post facto research. So these kind of researchers have the independent variables or the variables that have already occurred in which the researcher starts with the observation of the dependent variable or the independent variables. So the third one is historical research. So historical researches are basically similar to ex post facto research, but it focuses on the historical part of an issue of interest or problem. So as we consider spreading of virus, it's an example. Once we consider the spreading of virus, we will always have to find where it has happened. So it's the initial or the starting point of the virus. This is called as historical research. We'll get back to the initial part. So the fourth one is analytical research. Uses fact or information already available. So the analytical researchers always uses or make use of the basic materials what it already exists. So as I said earlier, the endeavors are basic materials. So next research is correlational research. So in the correlational research, the purpose of this research is to explore the relationship of interdependence between two variables or characters. So here in the correlation we have to find its difference and similarities or what is the common, unique and intersection relationship between the variables and their characters. So here the association of degree of such relationship are founded. The value of the correlationship research is discovered with the relations among the phenomena with the view to predict and in some situation controlling their occurrences. So the next thing is explanatory research. So the explanatory research always attempt to find how and why between the data and the phenomena or the situation. For example, let's consider an example of a student who gets stressed out because of examination. We will find why he got stressed out and what is the cause of it and how. Once the student gets frustrated or stressed out because of few reasons, he may not prepare for the exam, he could not understand the concept or he may have a physical or psychological effect of the subjects. So next one is exploratory research. So here everything is generally done at the beginning of the research. So it attempt to investigate the territory means where a little is known or to examine the potential outcome of understanding a specific research study. So we don't have the huge data. Here we have only a few data or a hint. So let's consider an example. There is a crime investigation. Let's consider an ATM crime. So we doesn't know who has theft and what has theft and who is the thief, and we nothing know about the crime, but we know only one thing: it has been theft. So we have only a few datas, and we use those datas as a beginning research. So video work is explained, and we have to find at least two part of this circumference. At least we have to have a connection. So the next method of classifying the result is based on applications. Here we have two methods. First one is fundamental research or pure research. The second one is applied research. The fundamental research is basically based on data provided from the new theory or from the existing theory. So here the data will provide in helping or creating our theories. Here we follow the procedures of sampling, hypothesis and fact. And the second one is applied research. So applied research is basically based on the principles provided from the fundamental researchers. Here these type of researchers are based on the known theories and models that are actually in the operation field. The applied researches are done to solve the explicit problem, not the implicit problem. They always utilizes the details. These kind of approaches can be used in the organization comprehensions of wonders. So the second and the last but not the least classification is classification based on concept. So when we are going for the concept, the first one is conceptual research. So conceptual research is done by the philosophers and scholars. So they have prior experience, the idea or the thought what they provided for the each research problem is unique. They utilizes the common data with the new concept or with the existing concept. And the second thing is empirical research. In the empirical research, the data are depends mainly on the daily observation of the data or analytics of the data are along with the experimental results what we have get from the lab for their communication. And the third is action research. Action researchers are termed by the Krug Levin in 1940s. The significance that learning by doing. There are some features in the action research. This is it should be a situational and it short out the problem solution perspective. It should intervene or make the changes in the real world with its result. So it should adapt according to the natural disasters and calamities or the social eco problems, like our classes from offline to online methodologies. It should provide an immediate solution to the situation with the proper findings. So its goal is to make a changes in the social environment. It is a collaborative process and a peer process. It needs the help and it needs the cooperation with the people surrounding around it. So the action result has four process. First one is before the before going to the work. Let's say an example: before buying a bike, we will have a plan, we will have a brand, and we will find what is the model and what is the cost and what will do for our financial needs. After we are collecting or after we are doing all our plans, we'll next want to act. So we have to make it or make it real or implement the act. So once we are getting the finance or looking at the model and everything, we have to observe, will it work for us or not. So if it observe this, if it works, we'll go for reflect. So we'll buy a bike. If it not worth and if it is costlier, we'll stop the project and we'll get up to the new projects. So thank you.